Good morning. Welcome, everyone. This is a getting started webinar with some of the TradeStation technology. My name is Jesus Nava. I'm the Director of Client Training and Education for TradeStation Securities. It's always a pleasure to be here. Thank you for joining me in this session. Today, we're going to talk about our mobile apps. In fact, the title of the presentation is Explore TradeStation Mobile Apps. We're going to take a look at both environments, iOS and Android, and highlight some of the functionality that's been implemented in those mobile apps. Before we get started, the usual disclosures. Keep in mind that every symbol and idea that I talk about is for educational purposes only, that these are not recommendations of TradeStation. Also, that active trading is not suitable for everyone, and that past historical performance is no guarantee of future results. If anybody here needs additional information on those disclosures, go to www.tradestation.com/important-information. All right, welcome everyone. Let's go ahead and get started with our mobile apps. Here they are. On the left-hand side, we have iOS, and on the right-hand side, we have Android. They still look a little bit different, but that's just because of styling that happens when you create an application inside of the iOS environment versus when that's done inside of Android. But some of the tabs and some of the navigation that happens inside the application is exactly the same. Let's go ahead and highlight some of the features. In fact, these two screens are going to look different because I'm connected to two different TradeStation logins. So what I do in one is not going to be reflected in the other, but what we're looking at this moment is a positions list. You can see that the one on the left, which is the iOS, has many more positions than what I have on my Android. On Android, I only have American Airlines, 100 shares long, and I have Verizon, 100 shares long. On my iOS, I have many more. I have American Airlines, Apple, American Express. Here's Kraft, Starbucks, Tesla, and Verizon. By the way, this is just a simulator. You can connect to your mobile apps in a simulated environment to test the functionality and make sure that you're familiar with it before you place some trades and risk, real capital. This is the main view of the mobile app. We are in what's called the homepage. The homepage is controlled by this TradeStation logo that you see at the bottom of the apps. So let me go ahead and open this up. It had automatically locked on me. But at any point, if you want to go to the homepage, all you need to do is tap on that TradeStation logo at the bottom, and it'll take you there. The home view of the mobile app is divided in 3 tabs. And you see the 3 tabs up here: positions, orders, and balances. And you see that same 3 tabs inside of the Android environment: positions, orders, and balances. Depending on what you want to see is all a matter of tapping on the corresponding tab. So let me go ahead and go to the orders on both environments. All right, I see some orders created on both. Right here on my Android, actually this is my iPhone, but on my Android, I see a few options orders that have been submitted. I'm not going to do anything to them because I know that one of my colleagues is also using the account, and he may be setting up some orders for an options presentation that we have this afternoon. By the way, if you haven't registered yet, there's a very interesting options trading presentation this afternoon on condors and butterflies. So make sure that if you haven't registered, you look at the events calendar and look for that event and join us at 2 p.m. in the afternoon. Okay, so that's my orders. Anytime that you have any active orders, they'll be listed here. There isn't much history here. So if I tap on the word that says today, you may be able to load more history. It doesn't have all the history that you would find on the TradeStation platform. For example, on the Trade Manager, you can load even years of historical data, but on the mobile app, will allow you to load up to 30 days of historical data if that's something that you want to see in your order log. And then balances, let me go here to balances. And balances is broken down into all the different accounts that are connected to your TradeStation platform. You may have an equities account, a futures account, an options account, and we'll give you the balances of those accounts separately and also combined. Not only that, but we'll also tell you, how many day trades you've done in an equities account and how many, day trades are needed for you to be qualified as a pattern day trader. That's information that's inside of an equities account, but I want you to go in there and explore all the different metrics that we have on all the different accounts. By the way, the mobile app, just wanted to create this parentheses. The mobile app is provided to you as a way to always be connected to your account and always have access to it. If you are on the road or traveling, we always carry our phones with us, and you have the ability to open up the TradeStation mobile app and monitor orders, monitor positions, or even place some quick trades from the mobile device. That gives you a lot of flexibility in terms of traveling and portability and not being in front of your computer. All the tabs that you see at the bottom are ways of accessing market data. On the far left, we have watch lists. On Android, I don't see the labels under the little buttons. I think that is an app setting. We're going to look at the settings later in this presentation, but going through the list of icons right here at the bottom, we have watch lists. We have these two opposing arrows, that's trading tab. We already talked about the home tab, takes you to positions, orders, and balances. We have a markets view. If you're interested in knowing what's hot, what's happening, what's moving, what's not moving, why is it moving, a lot of information that's provided by Benzinga. Benzinga is a third-party data provider that we connect to. And when you go to the markets tab, a lot of that information comes directly from Benzinga. And here on the far right, we have the more menu, gives you access to app settings, a lot of things that you can configure within the app. Well, let's go and tap on watch lists and see some of the things we can do there. I'm going to watch list in both environments. Let me raise my font here on my iOS. I know it's a little bit too small. And remember that, yeah, that's much better. A lot of the font size that you see inside of the app is controlled by what you see or what settings you have on your device. It's not really something that you can control within the app. You saw that I went to the main menu and increased the font size for TradeStation to react accordingly. So here we have, at the very top, we have a little drop down that allows you to select the list of symbols you're going to be looking at. Right now, I'm on my quotes, but if I tap on that little drop down, I have the ability to select some pre-created lists that come supplied with the app, or you can create your own. If you tap on the plus here, on either side, you'll be creating a watch list. I believe there's a limit to the number of symbols that a watch list can have. So if you see that you're running out of space and you've reached the maximum number of securities, you can always create a new watch list and then have the ability to switch from one watch list to the other. So my recommendation would be for you to organize symbols from the get-go. So that way you can create these separations and organize your symbols in a better and understandable way to you. So it's easier for you to find the symbols. If you want to create watch lists based on industry sectors, or if you want to create watch lists on index components, that's something that you can do. For example, here on the iOS, I have the Dow 30. So if I tap on Dow 30, you can see that it loads the 30 symbols making up the Dow. Here on my my Android, I don't have the Dow 30, but I could create it if I want to. Both environments have a positions watch list. So if I tap on positions, you'll just see a list of the positions that you have open in the account. On my iOS, let me go back here to my dropdown, and I'm going to go to my positions watch lists. And as I said earlier, I have more positions inside of my iOS than I do on my Android, but that's okay. From here, you can access details on any symbol. So if you want to look at a symbol and it's not listed here, Let's go ahead and add it, and then I'll show you how you can access the detail. So a symbol that I don't see on my lists. In fact, let me go back here to my, because these are my positions. You cannot really add a symbol to your positions watch list unless you open up a position, because this will automatically populate with any position you have open. So let me go back here to my quotes. Sorry, my quotes. There we go. Android. Let's go here to my quotes. Okay. In here, I don't see Disney on either side. I'm not sure if you see it, but I don't. So here from a watch list, notice that at the very top, you have the ability to add a symbol by tapping on the plus. I'm going to type in Disney here. Uh-oh. I used my keyboard. So you type in a few letters. Notice that it searches for anything that matches those. You can see Disney at the very top. And when I tap it, it is checked. And all I need to do is then tap on done at the very top. That gets added at the bottom of my watch list. Let me do that on Android. I want to tap here on the plus. Where's the keyboard? Let me use the Samsung keyboard. Let's try one more time. There we go. DIS. So searches for Disney right there at the very top. I'm going to tap it. Well, in this case, you don't tap it. You actually click on the plus on the right-hand side. Now, those are the minor differences between iOS and Android. I tap on the plus, it turns into a check mark, and then all I need to do is, I think you would just click on the little arrow here on the left, on the top. You tap on that arrow, and then Disney gets added. In my Android, the symbols are sorted in alphabetical order. That's why Disney did not show up at the bottom as it did on iOS. But you can sort all these columns any way you want. So on my iOS, I can tap on the symbol header. Like, for example, if I tap my symbol, my finger on the symbol header, I can sort the symbols in ascending or descending. If I do descending, let me do that ascending again. There we go. So we have the symbols in place, and then Disney is right there in the middle with the Ds. So by tapping on Disney on the symbol, you go to a symbol detail. I'm just tapping on the symbol. All right. So when you go to the detail of the symbol, well, you can see that Android has this modal that is just explaining what's new. So I believe that the product team is enabling these windows showing you, okay, these are all the new things that have been added to the app. Let me go ahead and X that out. The view on the detail is going to be different depending on where you were last time you were looking at a symbol. Because you saw that I tapped on the symbol, but on the iOS, I see an option chain. But on the Android, I see a chart. So depending on where you were last, when you were accessing the application, it'll take you to the same detail view. However, you can switch that view by tapping on the tabs right here at the very top. On my iOS, I don't see those tabs, or I do. They're right here. On iOS, yes, we added, some functionality, some new features. For example, this information that you see at the very top, you don't see it here on Android, but will come eventually. But the tabs are right here on Android, and the tabs are right here on iOS. But if I click on overview on both, then they start looking a little bit similar. The nice thing about what they did here about the symbol detail is that you can switch from different ranges. Notice that this is today's range. The current price is right here, 89.80 is where this little marking is. The price was, 90.33 at one moment, but it's been going down since it opened. You can see that we are in red. Now we can switch the range from today's range by tapping on those little carrots. And here we have the 52-week range. And here we have the monthly range. And here we have today's range. So today's range, 52-week range, and a monthly range. If I wanted to trade this, though, if I wanted to trade this, I would have to, I can click on the trade button down here. So I guess the reasoning here behind removing the buy and sell buttons is that we had a big trade button right there at the bottom. So it just seems like it's a little repetitive to have it right here at the top and have it right here at the bottom. So instead of giving you, buying or trading buttons so close to each other, we decided to use this space to provide you additional information on what the symbol is doing. So we have this overview type of thing. If you click on this little caret on the right-hand side, it'll provide you additional quote information on the symbol. Here we have, market cap, PE ratios, the dividend, beta, the number of shares. So interesting information. When we go to the chart, though, if you need a little bit more space here and hide this information at the top, all you need to do is with your finger, you can just slide it up a little bit. And then it just hides that information from view. So here we're on the exact same view, and we can use our fingers to pinch and zoom on the chart so we can see a little bit more of historical data. On both environments, I have moving averages and DMI. So you have a limited collection of studies that you can add to any chart. Studies are going to be available by clicking on, well, for iOS, you have to click on the little gear, and then you have the ability to add studies. You can see that for Android, we have the science beaker already visible. So all we need to do is tap on that science beaker. Sorry, tapped on the wrong thing. You tap on the science beaker, and then we find all the different studies that we can add to our chart. And you can, use your finger to cycle through them. You're not gonna have as many studies that you do on the desktop, but at least you have a way of looking at an average or a MACD or an RSI, whatever it is that you want to look at, you can put it on the chart very quickly. All right, so that's the chart here on Android. Same list of studies here on iOS. If you want to remove any of these studies you added, you can tap on the labels that you see on the chart to remove them. So if I want to remove this DMI, I just tap on the DMI label and say delete. And you can see how the DMI went away. On my iOS, I tap it, then press delete, and you can see how the DMI went away. Okay. The other tabs here on this view, which is the detail or the symbol detail view, are news. Let me tap on news. So you can see news on Disney. You have to just use your finger to cycle through all the different news articles. We have options. So you can trade options directly here from the mobile app. And then you have access to a matrix. Matrix allows you to see level 2, market depth. And you can see the bids and asks on either side of the market if you want to use this to place your trades. So those are the 5 tabs of the symbol detail. And you just need to tap on the actual tab in order to go to that place. Let's go ahead and place a trade for Disney. I'm going to go here to the trade button down below on both environments, and it's going to open up an order ticket. Here you can choose whether you want to buy or sell. You have the account number. Both order tickets, look very similar. You have the quantity, the type of order, your price specifications. Here we see bid and ask. I don't see bid and ask here on my, I do see it. It's just a little bit, it's right here. So it's a little bit larger than my iOS. So I just needed to scroll down. And you can see day and tally, and you have the ability to set a profit target and a stop loss. Let's go ahead and do an order. I'm going to send an order for 100 shares of Disney. I know that it's trading at 89.68. I'm going to buy them at market, and I'm going to set a target of $5 and a stop of 2. All right, so how do I put in that trade? Well, for my iOS, this is a buying transaction. I check that it's a 100 share order. The quantity is 100. The order type is going to be a market order. Duration's day. It's just a day order since it's a market order, but I am going to take a profit at $5 above. So I'm going to do, let me do 95. And then my stop loss is going to be at 87, approximately. Once I have my orders in place, I'm going to review my order. I see my top order that says buy 100 Disney, and then I have my 2 selling transactions. I sell at 87, stop, and I sell at 95, limit. You want to stop, the other's limit. I send the orders and tap on OK. This tells me that I got filled. And if I go back to my chart, I can see the orders right there in place. You can see that I got filled at 89.59. I have my stop right here at 87, and I have my target at 95. If I wanted to do that on Android, same thing. 100, market order, take profit. I'm going to take a profit at 95. And then I'm going to do a stop loss at 87. Review my order. Same style confirmation, where I buy 100 distance at this price. I got my selling transaction at 95 limit and selling transaction at 87 stop. Send the orders. And that's it. If I go back to my chart view, then I see the orders there in place as well, similar to what I see here on my iOS. So placing trades is very straightforward. You can do it right within the palm of your hands. I believe that's very flexible, very beneficial. If you're on the road and need to place a trade quickly, you can do that from the get-go, okay? You also see access to your orders. I mean, in fact, you can edit any of these orders right here from the chart. So let's say, for example, that you wanted to bring this limit down to 94. You could grab the red flag and drag it down to 94. That's something that we allow you to do. Sometimes it's going to be challenging to drop it right at 94. However, if that's the case, don't worry, because once you let your finger go, it'll go to this place where you can modify the price to your liking, replace the order, and send the order, and then OK. So now you can see that the order, instead of showing at 94, instead of showing at 95, now it's showing at 94. So you can just tap on any of these flags, and it'll take you to the order ticket to make a change on that order. So from the chart, or by just tapping on it, you have access to replacing functionality. It also tells you, you know, how many open orders you have, what your open position is. So that's very telling at the very top of the chart. If I go back to the home page, if I wanted to track my positions, I can do that here on my Android by typing on the TradeStation home. On my iOS, I need to go back. If you notice my iOS, I don't see the TradeStation home button here, but that's just because of functionality. You come up here to the top, tap on the little arrow, and that's when the home button pops up. I go to home. Let me check my orders. And that's where my Disney order shows up. On iOS, that's where the Disney order shows up too. I got filled, but I have some open orders for the stop and the limit that I placed with that trade. Does that make sense? All right. Let me see my positions. I have American Airlines on both. Yeah, I have 100 shares here and I have 500 shares here on my iOS, which is okay. If I wanted to trade some options on American Airlines, I can do that. I can do that easily here as well. Let me show you how that's done. If I go back to Well, in this case, I can tap on the symbol for American Airlines. And notice how my Android gave me the option to go to the symbol detail. I'm going to tap there. And if I do the same thing on my iOS, if I tap on the security, it doesn't do the same thing. It doesn't give me the option to go to the symbol detail. I wanted to go to the symbol detail. So let me go here and click on actions and see what happens. Okay, there we go. Then we got the option to go to not the symbol detail, but the options chain. Interesting. So you can see some of the functionality is different, but my recommendation would be for you to explore and see what the differences are. I'm going to go to the option chain. From there, notice that it takes me directly to the options in iOS. Over here in Android, I have to tap on options to be on the same place. Let's say that I want to trade an option that expires sometime in September. Let's say that I want it to be September 20th. I tap on September 20th. I see the options for that view. Let's do that on my Android as well. That's September 20th. Let's suppose that I'm going to sell a call. I have the shares in place, but I can sell a call by just coming here and looking at the prices. If I sell this call at 10, I can come over here to my Android and tap on bid price. Notice the bid price, you send the information down here. The same thing happens here on iOS. If I tap on the bid price for the call, it assumes that I want to short that call, and I have it right here at the bottom. And I have the option to trade it, of course. Of course, on my Android, I think I only had 100 shares, so I would trade one call only. So this is one call. I can use a limit order or a market order, whichever type of order you'd like. I want to do a market order so that you can see the execution happening. I believe the order went through. While that's thinking, let me go and do it here on my iOS. I'm going to tap on trade. I'm going to change the order type here to market, review order, send order, and OK. So TradeStation fills it. It doesn't clear the information at the bottom, and I think that's just by design. But let's go ahead and check our positions and see if we have a position on that option. On my Android, I'm gonna click on the TradeStation home again and go to my positions. In my positions, you see for American Airlines, now we see a little caret on the left-hand side. Allows me to open that up, and you can see that I have 100 shares of American Airlines, but I also have one short call for September 20th. You see that? Now on my iOS, let's see. Let me go back, then go to the home page, then go to my positions. In my positions here, American Airlines shows us having two positions. If I tap on American Airlines, then it goes into the detail of my positions. I can see that I have stocks right there, 500 shares, and I have just one short. So I still need to trade 4 more contracts if I want to, take advantage of that 500 share position, but you get the idea. You have the ability to monitor all your positions and all your holdings from the mobile app. I don't see any questions. You guys are welcome to submit any questions if you have any. In fact, I'm not even looking at the chat here, so let me turn that on. I don't know why the chat was not visible. Let me just see here. Okay, now I see the chat. Okay, so if you guys have any questions, let me know right here in the chat. And I'll be glad to answer those questions for you. One question that I get many times is, can I be connected on my mobile device and my desktop simultaneously? That is something that is not possible. Not because we don't allow it, it's just because our data exchanges will see another device connected as a different terminal. and a different terminal receiving real-time data, and it's going to want to collect data fees on that additional connection to the exchanges. So for that reason, we only allow you to be connected at one device at a time, or on one device at a time. However, if you do need to be connected on multiple devices at the same time, especially if you have a trading partner and you're both trading the same account, then it's important that you speak to our client services department, because you can be set up with an additional login that gives you access to your trading accounts. So it is possible if you set up a different username and password, but if you only have one username and password combination for TradeStation, you can only be connected on one device or one terminal at a time. All right. Let's see. Let me go back here to markets, which is something new that we released not long ago. So this is the markets view. A lot of the information here is provided by Benzinga, as I said earlier. However, this also gives you access to hot lists. So here we have the percent gainers and on both environments, but you can view all the different hot lists. You can cycle through the hot list by using your finger and sliding to the left. Notice that on my Android, I'm just using my finger and going one hot list at a time. Same here on my iOS. Although iOS allows me to cycle through more. Yeah. iOS only gave me 4, but both environments have the view all that allow you to go to a list of different filters that you can use for hot lists. So if I go here and I say, okay, show me volume, I'm going to tap on volume right here at the very top, and I'm going to show highest. I'm going to go highest trade volume. So most active trades. And then I'm going to do the same thing here on iOS. Volume, most active trades. And you can see that the security that's been traded the most today is NVIDIA with 126. This is the last price. You can change that. This is the price. This is not the number of shares. Of course, this is the most active trades, but you can change what's being displayed up here. Let me go back in here and go back to the markets view. Because in addition to hot lists, if you scroll down, you have information on why our security is moving. So you have performance metrics on sector ETFs, you have news, and you also have analyst ratings, again, from Benzinga. You have earnings information. So make sure that you come here on both environments if you're using, one or the other, and go to the markets view and see what's happening to many of these securities. Edgard is asking, how do I sync my Futures Plus account to the app? Is there a Futures Plus app? There is, Edgard. However, Futures Plus is one of those applications that we contracted from a third party. So Futures Plus was not developed by TradeStation. We make it available to our TradeStation's futures clients whenever they want to trade options on futures. So that's the reason why we have a Futures Plus platform. However, yes, if you're looking to sync up your Futures Plus with this application, the mobile or the TradeStation mobile app, it is something that we still don't have. There's no alignment between those two applications. So Trading Futures Plus, as I said before, is a platform that a third party developed, and we make it available to everyone that wants to trade options on futures or future spreads. Those are the type of products that you can trade there. So unfortunately, no connection between all those mobile apps. However, the Android app and the mobile app are both very aligned, and you can use them. The functionality is very similar on both. Okay, guys, this is the end of my call. I wanted to highlight a few things on the mobile app. Hopefully it was beneficial. At least I wanted to show you where to place a trade, where to access data, where to go to look up a chart, where to enter a symbol, how to trade options. I think we did that in this class. If anybody has any questions about content, please email us at education@tradestation.com. But I want to say thank you for your time. Have a wonderful day, and I wish everyone a wonderful afternoon. Again, see you at 2 p.m. for our options presentation on condors and butterflies. Have a great day. Thank you for being here.